Rob Wilson, real name Rob Wilson, is a British battle rapper from Salisbury, United Kingdom. He currently has 7 battles catalogued, which total 89,242 views. This is all we know, and these files are somewhat misleading, as Rob's first 2 battles were on the Don't Flop Extra channel, which has since been deleted. We can only theorise that these battles didn't have a whole lot of views, as they were on the Don't Flop Extra channel and had Rob Wilson in them. The first glimpse of our man Rob that wasn't lost to history is his battle against Heretic.
All weekend, everybody make some noise, let's go!
I am tentative to watch this, as it not only has Rob Wilson in it, but Heretic's there too. Heretic was one of the perpetual mid-tier nerdy poets that tried their hand at battle rap back in the day. We're talking Craft D, but a little bit worse. These guys were too corny even for me, with the exception of Harry Baker, who just seems swell, doesn't he, folks?
Anything in the entire universe, the thing that I looked for the letter P was pepperami. And that's because I was reading the ingredients on a pepperami, and the percentage of pork in it surprised me.
Outside of his famous battle against Shuffle T, nobody's talking about Heretic. And nobody talks about that battle for any of Heretic's rounds. If you're trying to remember who Shuff was battling when he did the having a weird long rhyming conversation with a fan concept round, now you know.
The face you use for bars you get a reaction with. I said, mate, are you aware that all of this is rhyming?
Rob, however, is on another level.
Make some noise for Rob Wilson, let's go!
Listen, Dark Alex.
So, strengths? Rob's a decent writer. He knows about multisyllabics and he will use them against you. Some of the stuff's a little wordy, which we'll get to, but on the whole, there's a good baseline of technical skill there to work with.
He thinks he'll walk out this event with the unanimous decision, but if Tony wins in more than one way, Harry isn't winning. But man, he's on a mission to battle unbattled children, with the fact that he is driven to clash with me as a given. They won't listen to the crap you've written. This match is branded with Wilson like rackets down at Wimbledon. Family admit I'm killing him, but damn, it's the beginning. Try to take this on the chin up like happy citizens.
Weaknesses, though. Rob is 12, I assume. He showed up to the event in his grandma's favourite Christmas sweater, and he's yelling F-slurs in your face and threatening to punch you.
By a Christian like the Spanish Inquisition.
He's a Christian battle rapper, and he's got a bit of a lisp. In the heat of a round, he sometimes starts talking too fast and fails to produce sounds that can be identified as words by a human. Rob Wilson did not win this battle. Now, believe it or not, most people don't know of Rob Wilson from his Heretic battle. I hadn't even watched it before I started researching for this video. A lot of people do remember him though, try as they might to forget. For you see, there was an incident. Rob's next battle would be during the lead up to Don't Flop's 7th birthday event. Despite my best efforts, I'm not sure when exactly this fateful day took place, although I assume it was fairly soon after the Heretic match, as Rob seems, if anything, slightly younger than in his previous battle. The bout would be against Michael Innuendo Williams. Innuendo's entered into the arena of word combat 70 times on record. He was also a perpetual middle tier, but a veteran. He was around in the background for pretty much the whole of the Don't Flop era, and has battled just about everyone, including Innuendo.
Oh, April Fools! Yeah, fucking good one here. But it turns out it weren't a wind-up. I'm back and I'm here to stay. And I've got some serious personals on me today, so we're both going to lose this battle either way. The fuck are you looking at?
I fucking hate when people do these cringy-ass mirror matches. The best one, of course, was Michael White, who almost made himself cry. That's a video for another day, though. Besides which, we have a battle to talk about, and an incident fast approaching.
Alright, we in there. Alright, Big T, introduce the
Yo, what's the deal? Hold on, let me introduce myself.
It's a small room battle, late in the day. And everyone in the room, except Rob Wilson, is already drunk.
To my left, we got my man, Innuendo. Make some noise for you.
On the right hand side, last time I see him live was against Heretic. We got my man, Rob Wilson.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, make some fucking. Alright, there we go.
Normally a coin toss decides who's going first. In this instance though, Tony just says it's Rob. 3 minutes.
Okay, so Innuendo's back. But he was never meant to take Rob, so were questions raised. What did I do to get this great shot?
Please ignore my Uncle Tony in the background. He is very drunk.
This isn't product placement. I don't have to pay the company when the name drops. This
Going first in a rap battle is a risky move, but a potentially decisive one. Like shooting first in a duel.
and you will set the lad straight, and all your black mates are saying,
Battle rap judging is typically done by a myriad of fairly unserious people who are frequently quite inebriated. All things being equal, the guy who goes second will win, as they'll be able to remember more of the things he just said. Going first allows you to set the pace though, and if the other person can't match that energy, it is extremely obvious.
"We slant eyes," but that's what the fans like. So go ahead and start taking the piss, because I won't lie to you, fam. Being Asian is shit.
In this case, Rob opts to open with the reverse racism gambit, dedicating the first half of his round to a tirade of Asian stereotypes, attempting to diffuse the energy when Innuendo predictably does the same thing, but unironically. What do you know about being addicted to rice? Rob asks his opponent. If all of this sounds very silly, you're not taking battle rap seriously enough.
So enough of that self-deprecation gimmick. I don't need to rely on that to maintain my image, but you do. Along with discriminating writtens which built up your fan base who rate those lyrics, but recently, you've been trying to erase the bigot.
Rob's first is surprisingly pacey, and he's a funny kid. He lets the energy wash over him, but doesn't end up speaking in tongues by mid-round.
You spend your life on social media, taking pictures of the food that no one cares that you made, you idiot. You can't live without your phone. So I don't want to hear no Asian disses, because I know Asians who made that shit.
Rob is doing well? Oh god, does Rob Wilson win a rap battle?
No Caucasian without the Asian in it.
Oh, hang on, Innuendo hasn't gone yet. He opens with a pertinent question.
Yo! Now let's be honest, bro. Where the fuck you cop them clothes and what are those?
Rob, what are those? Why are you like this?
Yo, so just know I didn't put no effort in. I didn't show enough respect.
He then proceeds to say that he could easily have prepared for the battle, but he didn't as a joke, and it's probably going to be rubbish now. Apparently, the Innuendo versus Rob Wilson matchup was initially intended to happen at sea, and Michael just wanted to go on a boat. He has no enthusiasm for the match and doesn't want to be there. And it shows, as Innuendo's first is ass.
You're terribly scared. So what's that scent that you wear? Because there's a I'm shitting myself smell in the air. But I'll try my best.
There are a couple of moments here and there.
Well, Rob's a Christian rapper, isn't he? So what's he gonna do? Fucking forgive me? Yo, just show me a good Samaritan. I'll fucking batter him. After this, we go our separate ways. Next time we meet, I'll be pissing petrol ready to set ablaze. As I take center stage for the end of days, you're gonna need divine intervention to beat me. But I guess you never know, Rob. I'm not wise because I'm getting old. It's just because I don't trust in any soul, let alone God.
Let's go, Rob.
Now, first off,
Rob opens his second round by complimenting his opponent's penis.
not bad.
Battle rap is just a strange place. He then goes fucking in though, just yelling, "You're a piece of shit" in the guy's face.
In battles, you even call yourself a nonce. And though the crowd react to that bar, son, don't think that cancels out the fact that you are one.
Rob Wilson's fucking cold, man.
Claimed you had a lot of sex with the disabled and destitute. You'd probably let a from Prague in your trousers. That's a pocket check.
Bagnall, the ubiquitous battle rap cameraman, gets his second shout out of the battle.
That was terrible. Bagnall's not impressed.
No, I am.
Bit of beat.
I am.
Fair enough, thanks,
I
man.
am impressed.
Yeah.
And seems to appreciate this one a little more. I didn't talk about it at the time, but the first was Innuendo, threatening to put Bagnall's camera up his bottom.
Character, I don't know how he wants us to paint him. A lovable racist or a cuddly rapist.
Actually, there's a point to be made here. When an event like this goes down, it's not only important what happened, but who was around to see it. If a tree falls in the woods and all that. Rob Wilson managed to have his incident in a very small room, packed to capacity, with battle rappers who'd gathered for Don't Flop's 7th birthday. Not just terrestrial, but international battlers too. Some people had to fly to watch this.
Stop. Because I'm not here to talk about the racist shit that this bra did, because that persona's put on. To hide the fact his lyrics, they are shit. And that persona's not even good. It's ridiculous, rather. It's been overused since the days it's spitting the darkest, so when you try to...
Genuinely tell me if you spot someone I don't recognise.
Don't go and think that you are sick, because behind your back...
Dang, you know, if a meteor had hit this room, battle rap would never have been the same again. Of the crowd we're looking at here, Kruger is staff, but also a UK hip-hop legend, co-founder of the organisation, and seasoned battler in his own right. If someone you like drops a song with an unusually cool accompanying video, it was probably him who did it. He also did this.
Alright, check it. I'm a spit a 16 full viewpoint. I look like I'm 16, I'm a cute boy.
Frankie Fraser is tucked away in a corner, the famous ghostwriter turned battler. He's there with Cracker, the only battle rapper more cringe than Rob Wilson.
Excuse me, ladies, can I quickly get your opinion on something?
Do you know where Yo Sushi is?
Do I know where you... I asked you a question first, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'll answer yours.
Am I a piff little buff ting?
Uno Lavos is a popular American battler, mostly known in the UK for his classic against Luna Sea.
I mean, look at this shit, mate! This shit is fucking preposterous! I bet if he swung his head that way, he'll knock Earth fucking unconscious!
Man.
You got...
Koji's here, he's never been less than solid, and his dad is a flat earther. Tony D's hosting this bout, and is arguably the best UK battler to ever do it. He was Don't Flop's champion for most of its run, eventually turning down the title voluntarily, because no one could beat him. This is absolutely a story for another time. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear more silly tales of UK battle rap. Big T is an extremely prolific US battle rapper, who'd go on to be notable as a figure who does not like Rob Wilson very much. He'd also cameo in the movie Bodied, where he played a different battle rapper who suspiciously wore Big T merch in his battles.
Like, this is battle rap, motherfucker. What you expect?
Shout out to the guy who uploaded the entirety of the movie Bodied to YouTube in 360p resolution, by the way.
You're David Brent, putting on a persona that you think they will laugh with, when in reality we're thinking you're a bit of a bastard. Yes. And with a breakdown like that, I've just ended this novice. So shout out to Juan for recommending The Office.
Round 2 on Innuendo. Coming off the back of another big Rob round.
Now, I bet his Jap's eye looks like Fetty Wap's eye.
Innuendo opens by describing his opponent's penis.
This little man's about to piss his pants, so I'll ring him up, because I'm in that same scouse dog shit that got Silla popped.
Honestly, he gets a lot more going this round. He's up in Rob's face, yelling about how lame being a Christian battle rapper is.
You stampede and like Antifa to Antigua. The way I'll shoot this Christian in the leg, you could say that I'm a blasphemer.
This is an angle that's been thoroughly covered by many better rappers and against a litany of battle rap Christians, but that certainly doesn't make them any less lame. There's a lot of two-bar punches that only barely qualify as rap, but it is an energetic showing from the go. Until...
Maybe Jesus is just pissed off that when it's his birthday, we're all getting presents. We're all getting presents. Yo, so, fucking...
2 minutes into his round, disaster strikes. Innuendo has forgotten his verse.
Getting presents. Yo, So, fucking hell.
What follows is an extended choke, where Innuendo argues back and forth with the audience about whether or not he should just call time and save everyone the embarrassment. Eventually, he looks the end of the round up and just reads it off his phone. The energy in the room is shattered. The round is a write-off. The battlers proceed into the third, with Rob having decisively won the first two. There is almost nothing he could do to still lose from this position.
Be deaf and blind like Helen Keller.
Almost nothing. What follows is, uninterrupted, the worst round in the history of battle rap.
Let's go, Rob.
So this is meant to be my shot. Like if I put my foot down and try, I'd reach my aspirational goal. That one day, I could be this guy, a fat, depressed scouser. I'm shook, I won't lie. Because if this is my aspiration, I need to take a long, hard look at my life. Because after checking out his music, I found it hard fathoming how this man's exactly about. Because on one hand, he's always rapping about being a lad on the town. The other hand, he's depressed. He's the saddest of clowns. So from that, here's how a night out with Michael would actually sound. At first, he sat with the crowd. He's had some Jaegers. He stinks of the booze that he's had for the sake of the binge, but the night's still young. So now he's draining a fifth of some vodka along with cocaine he will sniff at a table or sink. He's born eighth of that shit and can easily call up a mate for a hit because he's not even high. Years of taking the sniff has made it so Mick wouldn't feel the amount which would make me go limp. He needs more. So again he's draining a fifth of some vodka along with cocaine he will sniff. But then some ladies walk in, an 8 and a 6. He blatantly thinks that they need some dick. The mate he is with owes a favour to him, so the 8 goes to Mick while his mate has a 6. He walks over, tells them his occupation is sick, that he's making music and he's famous from it, and they're interested. The conversation is lit when they talk, so he goes to pay for their drinks. Soon enough, the bill racks to 80s, but shit, that's a small price to pay for him gaining a chick, so he'll pay for their drinks. And now they're all draining a fifth of some vodka along with cocaine they will sniff. But now he's majorly pissed. He's reached the phase where he's sick all over a man with the change for the bins, and it's funny. But he doesn't know that while he's laughing away at all this, that his shirt's now covered in stains with his piss, and the ladies he's with, taking all this, they're disgusted and proper ashamed of him since they have class. They don't want to be seen with his face, so they're quick when they leave him alone where he fails to notice. When he does, he doesn't know he's the reason that made them both split. In his mind, he's quaking and raging. He thinks that his mate has been on some shady type shit, that he's snaked and gone with both the 8 and the 6, so he's mad. Hand clenched, made to a fist, as he swears one day that mate's getting hit, but for now, he takes his anger out, draining a fifth of some vodka along with cocaine he will sniff. Now he's done. No, wait a minute. He'll take one more drink, draining a fifth, some vodka along with cocaine he will sniff, and he's draining a fifth, taking a sniff, along with some vodka, along with some vodka, he's draining a fifth. The amount of times he's draining a fifth of some vodka along with cocaine he will sniff sounds like Hitman Holler just made a remix. Now he's majorly pissed. Haters could diss, but that don't mean shit when the Jaegers pour in, cause he's happy. Big smile, great on his lips, so later he'll sing with the babe at his hip, but soon enough it's the end of the night, and he starts to feel faint and feels shit as he stumbles back home. Shirt stained and he's sick. He feels the depression which stems from his failures kick in, and in the night he sheds and he changes his skin. He's no longer a lad now. He's a sad clown with no one to entertain, so he sinks back down to the damn ground. Head cradled, he whimpers and cries in his mind, thinking dangerous things going inside where he might walk straight for the kitchen, where he's taking a thin blade from the sink, aim for his wrist, starts scraping till it's making a slit. They're not able to stitch, and when the neighbours walk in, so they have a fit, but I'll stop right there. The only thing painful to hear, this is painful to spit. And I hope to God that I've exaggerated all this, because this has happened to people. I'm faking this shit. Alcohol took my granddad away from the kid. It's ruined lives. It's ruined yours, and that's why I pray for you, Mick, because you know that. It's why you went to Spain for a trip, to turn your life around, find inspiration to live. But then you went back to your mates for a trip, for a binge, back to the old habit, getting majorly pissed, back to your old life, that mistake that you went to, the trip that you took, didn't change anything, and it saddens me massively, because he's genuinely great when he spits. The music he makes is creative and sick, but all the drink and drugs that he takes makes me think that maybe that talent is wasted on him. In albums you're always complaining in skits that the life that you live seems painful and shit, so maybe it's time someone says to you, Mick, if you truly want to live and feel change, you need to change how you live. Lay off the drink.
It's hard to get past the feeling of your brain trying to escape from your head during all that. So, for the freshly cognitively impaired in the audience, What you just witnessed is a small child dressed loosely as Dennis the Menace, giving a sermon about the evils of drugs and alcohol in the form of a long, spoken word poetry bit to a room full of drunk, high adults. Rob's third against Innuendo is so staggeringly bad that it's hard to comprehend the scope of it. Around 4 minutes, not counting crowd reaction because there wasn't any, Rob's third is the longest round in the battle, but at only 4 minutes, it's not as long as you think it was. Personally, it feels a lot closer to 30. Rob decided to do the entire round in one single multi-syllable rhyme scheme, which is impressive. That is difficult to do, but to paraphrase the wise words of one Dr. Ian Malcolm, you were so preoccupied with whether or not you could, Rob Wilson, you never stopped to think if you should. The result being a winding, sing-songy, tedious malaise with no setups or punches, just endless rhyming words. The frequent reuse of lines such as an 8 and a 6 and some vodka along with cocaine you will sniff make the whole ordeal feel like it isn't progressing. Like the one Mario level where if you go the wrong way it loops. You start to wonder if you'll be there forever. Innuendo would finish out the battle by saying some words. Probably. It doesn't matter. Rob is already the first person to ever lose a rap battle 3-0, despite cleanly winning the first 2 rounds. And he did it all to himself. I mean, he didn't do it to just himself.
Rob! Fucking hate you, Rob.
Big T would very quickly upload a harrowing response video in which he acts out his internal battle, having been a survivor at ground zero of Rob Wilson's third round.
My God, I hate that verse. Rob, please, you had to write that verse with a Christmas instrumental in the background. There's no possible way you wrote that verse a cappella.
Now this response, while jovial in nature, would level some very serious allegations against the twink himself. Specifically that Rob Wilson's third round had caused Big T to physically age.
Rob, look, I got a gray hair. I swear, y'all, look. I ain't never had a gray hair in my life. I heard Rob's voice, I heard Rob's verse, and I grew a gray hair. This ain't even no prop gray hair. This a real gray hair.
And thus, the most bizarre beef in all of battle rap was born.
Rob! I hate you! Look, man, I promise you, Rob, I never been so motivated to battle anybody in the UK. Set it up. Rob, what's his last name? Rob Wilson. You didn't even.
I don't know what the moral of this story is. You know, I'm not entirely convinced that there is one. Maybe it's that if you're a straight-edged tween who thinks they have a handle on the world and all of its problems, you're likely setting yourself up for embarrassment. Maybe it's that legends can look like anything and can come from strange places. I think the thing that initially drew me to battle rap back in the day was that it could be almost anything. As a sport, to use the term fairly loosely, the objective is to entertain a crowd, and the means is up to the discretion of the participants, so long as it rhymes. UK battle rap was particularly permissive to this wild nonsense. Rob Wilson and Big T put on very different sorts of performance from one another. They are wildly distinct personalities from thoroughly different walks of life, separated by the breadth of the Atlantic Ocean. And both are, within this space, entirely valid. The crossover between spoken word poetry and rap wasn't obvious to me until spoken word artists started turning up and doing fairly well. But in hindsight, the biggest difference was always in the tempo and aggression of the silly poems. And having experience reciting poetry to a crowd is a useful, transferable skill. There's so many different ways a battle rap round can work that when one so definitively doesn't, it's kind of worth a study in its own right. For better or for worse, Rob Wilson got up on stage that day, in front of a crowd of his peers, and he did his own thing. He didn't stop doing it for a full 4 minutes. I kinda think that's neat. Don't Flop would stop paying its staff, and as a direct result would implode messily in on itself. Tony D himself would stop being good for a time, take a long hiatus, and re-emerge as an English teacher who could spit just as good as ever.
Yes. But he wanted the fade. I patterned something up just so. This the number one. You getting clipped, that mean your buzz cut, bro. Feel like I'm fresh out of Pentonville and just touched road, cause these bars have me sat down. Now I'm back out. Unks come home. Yes, uncle. Yes, uncle.
Some say the dark times were a curse set upon Uncle Tone by the rap gods for talking during Rob's third. Big T would do particularly well for himself. You know, Big T isn't even like huge anymore. He's like properly in shape now. I wish him all the best, but I imagine in the quiet hours he sometimes still hears a whisper on the wind. He's draining a fifth of some vodka along with cocaine he will stay. Harrowing stuff, folks. Rob himself would fade into obscurity. His name irrevocably tarnished. He would disappear first from the scene and then from social media. His final appearance would be at Checkpoint 4, in Harry Baker's weird battle against Charlie Clips.
I mean, the dude seems quite unstable, that's a bit of a cunt move. How would you like it if I got my goons to lyrically jump you?
This is crunch time, pussy.
They say he wanders the land to this day, a samurai without a master. None can say for sure. If you're out there and you can hear this, thank you, Mr. Wilson. And let's go, Rob. Well, that's not quite the end of the story. He did have one more fairly big battle.
This is the ultimate uber mega super ultra grudge match. Trust me, we're about to get into it right now. Danny Jack's gonna say he's on the right hand side. Let's get into this battle. Let's do this.
So yeah, on my right hand side, Mr. Drainer Fifth himself. Please make some noise for Rob Wilson!
Hey, and MC on my left hand side, I know he's got some serious hate boiled up in his heart right now. Make some noise for my man from Chicago, Big T, let's go! These two requested off camera to have a cage match. We said nah. Let's keep it rap. This is Don't Flop, we keep it lyrical, baby. All right, who's first? Yeah? 1 round, what's it, 6 minutes time limit on my man Rob Wilson. Whenever you want to go, though. Let's go, baby. Yo.